Hey everyone, what's going on? I'm back after like 5-6 months of not doing anything on the channel, and a lot has changed. So originally we wanted this channel to be more about like tips and tricks and stuff like that, but we completely realized that's not what you want. We realized that you guys actually like free stuff. Y'all like the presets. And so that's what we're going to do. So last time we were here, we pretty much gave away a free preset pack. There was a lot of smooth transitions, there was a lot of twirls, there were some presets that kind of made the video look a little bit more retro-y, or it gave more of a grungy vibe to you know, your lenses and stuff like that. The new preset pack is Birch Media Essential Presets version 1.5, or really it's 1.5.0. It doesn't really matter. And I don't want you to think about this as if it is a replacement to the old pack, because there's still some transitions in there that we think that you can definitely get use out of. We do have you know, about 2 updates, or at least technically one is an update for the Rgb Split, and then we also have a couple of other presets or preset sets that you'll be able to use for your videos that make for really cool transitions. So let's jump into it. The easiest way to get them installed, and probably the only way to get them installed, is by downloading the pack. The link will be in the description. Save the pack on your desktop or wherever you want, and then jump into Premiere Pro. Jump into the effects panel. Our effects panel is right here, and then you'll jump into the hamburger menu just like last time, and then you go to import presets. And when you import the presets, just find where you downloaded the file, select the file, and once you do that, click import, and it will jump directly into your presets folder. So for us, you see that we have our version 1.0 of our presets, the essential presets here, and then since we've already installed it, we have the essential presets version 1.5.0 here. Now when you open it, when you open everything, you'll have all the presets on the inside, and everything is pretty much labeled as simply as we could label it. So let me give you an example of what is in this preset pack. So this is the first set of presets where it's called a pull, and basically what happens is the top clip or one of the clip is being shrunken down and then pulled in a direction out of frame to make for an interesting little transition into the next shot. So the cool thing about this is that we have it for all directions. We have it for up, down, left, and right, and it's really simple to add onto any clip. It's really just drag and drop. So the way that you'll set this up is you will find your clip. Let me go ahead and set this up like as if we were setting it brand new. So these are 2-second clips. They can be however long you want. The only thing that matters is that the clips that you choose to implement the preset on are anywhere from 12 to 6 frames. Now, the cool thing about it is that these transitions will scale with however long the clip that you place it on is, but you don't want to add this transition to, you know, like a 10-second clip. So we have our 2 clips here, and we want this transition to be within 6 to 12 frames. We're going to go and do the 6 frames first. So normally the way that we set this up is we will hold down shift, and then we'll move with one of the arrow keys left or right. I use left, and that pulls us 5 frames to the left, and I just hit one more time without the shift key, which is a single frame. So now we are 6 frames into the clip, and then I just hold down Control K to cut the clip, and then I will go ahead and drop that effect onto the clip. So now you can already tell that it's already recessed about a pixel or whatever. And from this point on, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to overlay that clip over your following clip, the clip that you want to transition to. And so now you have the clip transition out. Now, you'll always want to accompany this with sounds. We had a lot of people asking us, hey, where'd you get the sounds in the last preset pack for all the examples? We use a plugin called Boombox. We got it from Mount MoGraph. Definitely check them out. Not all the sound effects were from there. Some of them were from some free sites, but a good amount of them were from Boombox. These guys are pretty cool, and they're adding to this library all the time, so I would definitely check that out. Right, and then so after that, you'll have you can do up, down, left, right, and this is an example of the left or the right. So this is a right transition where it's pulling the clip off to the right, and that is in the 6-frame increment. And then we'll have the same thing in a 12-frame increment, pulling it down. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to go over is Luma Fate. Now you'll see this in a lot of travel videos where someone will be at the beach and all of a sudden it'll transition into them, I don't know, in a diner or something. And the way the transition works is you'll see a lot of the highlights disappear first, or a lot of the shadows disappear, and it reveals the shot underneath. And that's what this really is. It's a Luma Fate, so it takes either the highlights or the shadows, and it will remove them from lightest to dark or darkest to light, and it looks like this. Right, and so you see the full clip. And so there's this really interesting transition where, in this clip, all the whites get pulled out before any of the darks. And this is also implemented the same way as the last one, where you just have a 12 or 6 frame increment, or 12 or 6 frame clip, and then you drop it on there. So it would just be from here, Luma Fade, or remove this. So we'll drop down Luma Fade. And so now you can see, since I'm pretty much in the middle of the clip, the transition has already taken effect. If you don't have any clip underneath, it'll just transition straight into black. But we're gonna go ahead and bring the clip in here. So now that reveals the clip underneath. Now, one thing that we do like to do with this is that we like to stylize it a little bit more, and I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. But let's say instead of the highlights, you want it to be shadows. You'll just jump into the effects controls, come down to the gradient wipe, and it says here Luma Fade, so you know which one it is, and then you can tell it whether you want it to be shadows or highlights. So let's say we wanted to do just the shadows to be transitioned, then you can do that. So see how the difference is, instead of the highlights, the shadows are pulled away. Now you see it a lot, oppositely, where the highlights are gone first and then the shadows, but you can do it however you want depending on the clip. Now, so now that's done. Let's jump into the next one. Let's not waste any time because I'm sure you would rather use this and not just listen to me talk. So this is the next clip. This is the wipe, or the warp forward, or the warp right, warp left. Doesn't really matter how you say it, as long as you know what you're doing. And this is what it looks like. So it is a very interesting transition where you're practically being pulled from one clip into the next one in a really funky way. So basically all that's happening is that the clip is being stretched. It's being stretched out, and then the next clip is being stretched in. The way this one works is nothing has to be overlaid, but you do have to choose your increment clip, so 12 or 6, like I said. I feel like this one actually works better with 6 frames as opposed to 12, because it needs to be such a fast transition that people aren't really inspecting the clips in between. Because if you look here, that's not really that interesting, but when you accompany it with the next clip and with its motion blur, it does feel pretty cool. So all you would have to do is drop in your clips, create those end clips, 6 or 12 frames, and then you'll jump over here, and then you'll do the warp left or the warp right. The warp left, or the preset that doesn't have shot 2 at the end, is going to be your first drop. So you just grab it and you drop it on your clip, and then the shot 2 would be on the second clip. And so now, see, the transition has been implemented. Now the last one is pretty basic, but we see this being used a lot, not only in our videos, but in tons of other people's videos. Usually videos that are implementing hip hop music or pop music, usually you'll have a build up in the song, and you'll have a bunch of kicks, and then you'll transition into the next portion of the song that sounds completely different. Let me just show you what that looks like. So you have all those kicks, and then you have the transition flickering in and out of the first clip into the second one. And so that one is super simple. This one works on a 12 frame clip. So you'll just pull it out. You'll just get the 2 clips you want. You'll overlay the first clip. You'll pull your cursor back 12 frames, create that cut, and then all you have to do is come to the stutter and scale, and then just drop it on the clip, and boom, you're done. All done. Now, we did stylize a lot of these transitions with an Rgb Split, which is technically the update we wanted to give you guys. Last time, the way we had it done was where we had to create 3 different layers of the same clip, and then we had to implement that preset onto every different layer, and every different layer had its own specific preset. Now, Adobe kind of updated Premiere Pro, and with that update came an easier way to do it. So you only needed 1 preset for it, and so that was the update that we're adding here. Now, like I said, I don't really think, and I don't believe that this should replace the old way of doing it, because the old way you have some more control, but this has its own place because it's a lot simpler in the sense of, if you didn't want to change a bunch of different variables, you just wanted to drop it and have like a very fast cooked way of creating that Rgb split, then you could. And so let me show you what that looks like, what this clip looks like with and without the split. So this is with the split, and this is without it. So you can see that here on these edges, we're getting that fringe of the different channels. We also did a small lens distortion on it, so it looks a little bit more interesting. And all you have to do is get the clip you want, and then just get the Rgb Split 2 and drop it on there, and you're all done. So that basically wraps it up on how to use a preset pack. All you have to do is drag and drop everything pretty much. The only effort you really have to make is creating, those clips in those, 6 to 12 frame increments. One thing that I would say, just like I said last time in the last preset pack, is play around with it. Play with adding different presets on top of others. I know one thing that we really like doing is when we're doing these Luma Fades, is we add not only the Luma Fade, but we'll add the Rgb Split on top of it, and it gives it this really interesting effect that looks actually pretty cool when you're playing back the video. So it's like you get all these edges that are starting to fringe in those different channels, and it looks pretty interesting. I'm pretty sure you could use this for some like trippy video effects and stuff. Same thing when you're using these transitions, throwing an Rgb Split on all these clips will definitely give it its own little flair. Now, we did set up the Rgb Split to be utilized in a whole where it's implemented throughout the entire clip, and then at the same time to be used as accompanied with a transition, So you can see how we have the Rgb Split in. We'll drop that in on the first clip. Let's just make sure there's nothing on there. We'll do the Rgb Split in, and so what happens is the further the clip goes out, the more of the fringing occurs, and so it kind of winds up the split so that it looks like everything in the footage is being torn apart dramatically. And then the same thing for this one, Rgb Split out, and so this one comes in and then it goes away. So everything on this end, all the channels are being put back together before the transition is over. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much about it. I really hope you guys can get some use out of this. Like I said, I didn't want to go into the new year without giving you guys something new, because I really appreciate all the support, or I appreciate all the people that joined the newsletter list. I know it was really just to get some presets that you could start using at work, but that's really the only reason we wanted to do this, because we wanted to help other people like us make money doing what they loved. So if you like the video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Don't forget, the link is in the description. We've changed the entire way we distribute our new files, whether it's going to be free preset pack, or later on if we create some premium content that we're going to be selling, it'll all be a lot easier for you guys to download. So just jump into that link in the description. It'll take you to where you can get it within seconds. And yeah, so I hope you guys have a good end of 2018, and I hope that this is going to be a good start to your 2019 journey. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Hey guys, it's Josh again. Don't forget to leave us a comment down below letting us know what you thought about the video. Give us a thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you disliked it, and leave us some comments letting us know what information you want in future videos. Do you want to see more product reviews? Do you want more tips and tricks? Do you want some more behind the scenes stuff? We're open to anything right now, so just let us know what you're interested in and we'll see what we can do. We'll talk to you guys later.